I'll call the meeting to order for the Inland Wetlands Commission for Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. It's 7:01. And I will ask Bruce to call the roll, please.
Ned Stachin,
Here.
Robert Eisner. He called and said he won't be able to make it. David Fox,
Here.
Richard Berlandi,
Here.
Neil Kelsey,
Here.
Andre Simons, Mark Simpson,
Here.
George Santos, and Elena Carveth.
Here.
All right, Chair, it's all
All
yours.
right, so George is in here.
George and Andre are not here, so you could see Elena for either Andre or Richard. You know what? It'd be safer to do Richard just in case, not Rich, Robert, just in case if Andre comes in late.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so I will, as chairman, I will seat Elena in the position of Robert Eisner, who is excused, or let us know that he wouldn't be able to make it. Okay, the first item on the agenda is Farmington Cemetery Association. Is the applicant here?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Evan Coles, 148 Main Street.
Andre.
I'm going to give a quick review. You've already heard this. I just want to bring up to refresh your memories. The cemetery is planning. I also have here with me Kevin Ray, President, and Jim Rose, Secretary, and we're all three board members. We're planning on repaving all of the roadways in Riverside Cemetery. And as part of that, we're going to be moving, there are all the roadways. It's quite an expensive project. It's not a huge project. It's, fairly routine, but for us, it's a big deal because that's like most of our infrastructure is the roadways there. We're going to move the bottom roadway away from the river a couple of feet to the east. And what we uncover on the west side, we're going to create a stone verge along there to replace the curbing to allow for sheet flow across that road and toward the river rather than concentrating it down to a leak off, which we have currently where the C and D is on the lower left-hand corner there. That will be a stone shoulder. The commission did visit the site on July 2nd and didn't have any further questions for us. We have agreed to do erosion control that the town has requested. The straw wattle along the whole length there and any erosion control silt fence that the staff requests of us. This whole project should take a couple of weeks. We have to close the cemetery to do this, and we've gotten the contractor to agree with a quick turnaround at this point. So even with the work that we're doing, it won't stay subject to erosion for very long. I know some of those erosion controls can break down after a while. This will be a very quick in and out for the pavers to do the work. And we will have staff there and we'll work with staff to make sure that everything's under control from erosion control standpoint. That's pretty much it. We're happy to answer any other questions or concerns that the commission has. And that's my presentation. Thank you.
very good. Like you said,
Chair, excuse me. Chair, I just want to let you know that Commissioner Simons has signed on. All right, so he's here now.
okay, thank you.
Hmm.
1 second. Okay, all my questions were pretty much answered at the field meeting, so I'll just go through the commission, see if they have any additional questions. Rich Berlandi,
No, I don't have any additional questions. Thank you.
all right, Dave Fox,
No questions.
Neil Kelsey,
Nothing for me.
Andre Simons,
I have no questions.
okay, Mark Simpson,
Mark, we didn't hear you. I think you're on mute. No, the microphone's
Okay.
not working, Mark. Something must have happened.
all right, Alana,
No questions.
okay. Well, that's pretty simple then. Since nobody seems to have any questions, we will, let's see. Oh, we need to determine, significance. I don't, I mean, this being, just a repaving of the existing roads with improvements to the drainage. I don't think this is a significant, um, event or for the maintenance here. I will poll the commission and ask if you agree with that this is not significant. Rich Berlandi,
I would agree. Thank you.
Dave Fox,
I also agree.
Neil Kelsey,
I agree.
Andre Simons,
I agree.
Mark Simpson. Oh, all right. We'll let Mark continue to try and fix
No,
it.
Mark's chiming in chat. He says it's not significant.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I
didn't
see.
get
Okay.
it. I didn't get it yet. Okay.
Can you
Yeah, I
hear me?
got it.
No, you're not getting
I
it
know I
yet.
got you.
Now you can hear me?
I can hear you now.
Go.
All right.
We got we got your message that it was not significant. Alana?
Not significant.
Okay. All right, since nobody else had any more questions for the applicant about the cemetery road repair and replacement, and there's no questions on or no one thinks this is a significant project, I'll entertain a motion that this confirm that this is not a significant event.
So moved.
Okay, motion been made in a second, please.
Again, Mark,
Okay,
just
All right.
testing my microphone.
all right, working good. All right, motion been made in second that this is not a significant event. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion passes. And with that, the chair will in regards to items to consider, the applicant did express that they'd be open to using the silt fence, straw wattle, and working with the town to as you know, to address the things that the town needs to be addressed. And so with that said, I will entertain a motion to accept the rather to approve the application.
So moved.
Okay. And a second, please.
Second, Mark.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to approve the application. All those in favor say aye.
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 I
Opposed? Abstain? The application is approved.
Thank you very much, commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Just keep us updated on when he's gonna start and when he's ready for his silt fence inspection. Okay?
Absolutely, Bruce. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Okay. On item 2, Greg Taylor, 26 Crosswood Road, the new garage or added garage.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
They can hear us. Yeah, we are very interested in putting in a garage. It's one of the must-haves when we moved in here. We looking forward to getting that done. We're trying to do it as expeditiously and with respect to the town and its regulations. I think we have met that burden so far. We did have a on-site meeting with Floater Farms, and they're the ones that pointed out that that one large tree really wasn't very healthy, and it should come down to whether or not we have a garage, and we plan to do that, because that was one of the questions, if we were gonna remove any trees. That one big one that's to the right, will go one way or the other. But we have a good commitment as to the concrete pad that will be put up, the frost walls. All the material will either be used in that structure or removed. And we're going to flare out the end of the driveway to match the new garage. So the additional pavement from that will be less than the amount of the patio that we're going to have to remove to make room for the garage. So we don't believe there'll be any additional impermeable surfaces other than the roof of the garage. I think that pretty much takes care of what we had in mind to say.
Okay. Bruce, I don't remember. I read the minutes. I don't remember. Did we discuss that tree in the minutes?
No, we
'Cause I
did,
know-
well, we did at the site walk.
Yeah, we
That's
did at
when
the
they-
site walk. We agreed, we looked at the tree and we thought that
Yep.
that tree was, we were agreeable that that tree should come down, that it was in bad health and that it did pose a risk to the driveway, to the new garage being in bad health, so that it should come down. And we were agreement on that.
Okay.
Um, your comment, Bruce, is the need for a grading plan. Um, have can to the applicant, can the Cotter Farm provide anything as to how they think this is going to be graded, or can you do that?
No, what we had talked about was that was a comment from one of the commissioners early on or during at the last meeting. So as part of that, we discussed at the site walk that this is what he's doing with the foundation. So as you can see here, it'll match grade at the driveway here. It'll come out level, and it's only going to be the foundation will be exposed. We'll say 12 inches. Okay,
Okay.
so there won't be any grade change on this side. There'll just be some foundation exposed. So during the site walk, we kind of looked at the string line that was up. The commissioners seemed to agree and understood that that's all they needed, and that a grading plan was not required.
All right, let me ask the applicant, do you have uh plans for a back exit from the garage, either a door with stairs, or if it's like for a riding lawnmower or something, you'd need a ramp? Is that in the plans at all?
There'll be a door certainly that will need stairs, and that's as far as we plan to go.
Okay,
The garage is primarily for vehicles. If there's a little extra room for a lawnmower or something, that would be a bonus. That can come out the front door.
okay. That's all I want to know. Okay, that's all I had for questions. As I go through the applicants, I'll ask you if there's if you have any additional questions, and also if you think this is significant or non-significant. I tend to think that this is not a significant event, the building of one garage. So we wouldn't expect to require a public hearing, but I'll poll the people. So Rich Berlandi, do you have any questions, and you think this is significant?
I don't have any questions, and I don't think this is significant.
Okay. Dave Fox?
No questions and not significant.
Okay. Neil Kelsey?
Yeah, same here.
Andre Simons? Andre, do you have any questions and do you think this is significant?
Lose him?
I don't know.
Hello?
We'll go-
There
Testing?
he is. Gotcha.
Okay, sorry about that.
fine.
I have no questions. I don't think this is a significant activity. I only have the one comment that for the runoff, as long as the stone catch basins are there to make sure that the runoff doesn't, encourage erosion, I'm all set for it. So thank you.
I think we talked about a stone drip edge, right? Not a stone
Mhm.
catch basin?
Yes, sorry about that.
Okay. Mark Simpson?
Not significant, and I have no questions. And welcome to the Highlands.
Thank you.
Alana Carvet?
No questions and not significant.
Okay, thank you. Okay, seeing there were no further questions, and to the applicant, you're agreeable to the erosion control of the silt fence and the straw wattle?
Yes.
Okay. All right, the chair will entertain a motion that this is not a significant event.
So moved.
Okay, and a second, please.
Rich will second.
All right, motion been made and seconded that this is not a significant event. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The motion passes.
Chair, on the
Yes.
vote, on the application, I'd like just if we can include the tree removal because that was not part of the application, so that could be a condition of approval or something. All right.
Okay. We're requiring the trees removed.
Well, no, not that
Oh.
we're requiring, but that we're
Oh, that,
approving it.
all right,
All right.
that we approve of the tree removal, okay. All right, so with the determinations that is not significant, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the application.
So moved.
Okay, thank you. And a second, please.
Rich, I'll second.
All right, moved and second to approve the application. And this is with the stipulation that we do the commission from the site meeting has agreed that that tree needs to be removed or should be removed as part of the project. So the motion's been made and seconded to approve the application. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? The application is approved. Good luck with the garage.
Thank you much, and thank you all for your consideration. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. You can sign off now.
Okay.
you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right, item 3 on the agenda, Hillstead Museum, regulated activity within wetland for a stone dust path walkway. Is the applicant here? Or someone for the applicant?
Yes, we are, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Anna Swinburne. I am the Executive Director and CEO at Hillstead Museum. I'm going to do only a very small portion of the talking here because I am an art historian. And it will be our Manager of Operations, David Purbeck, and the landscape architect we have hired, Siobhan Towers, who will be presenting. But I would like to say, to give the historical context, this is a portion of Hillstead's original design that was created by Theodate Pope Riddle in 1901 as, if you will, a counterpart to the sunken garden that is adjacent to it. It's the portion of the map that you see here that is in the top right corner.
Oh,
It looks a
yeah.
little bit like the Millennium Falcon seen from above.
Good explanation.
The day I realized that was very hopeful. I realized that youth and future generations, there might be an avenue to get them interested at Hillstead. But in any event, this particular project that we are embarking on now is part of the original. It has been something for all the years of the 21st century. The museum has tried sort of on and off to make progress on, if you will. We refer to it affectionately as our Roman ruin because it is all but gone back to nature. And the effort at this point is not to recreate what our founder made in this space, but to recapture its essence, acknowledging that the landscape has changed, acknowledging also that the idea of how to interact with wetlands have changed. So we see this as not just an expansion of our property and offering to our visitors who have, since the pandemic in 2020, there's been a serious uptick of people coming to experience the outdoors and the grounds, but we see it also as an educational tool where the premise of the garden is to amble through it, if you will, on a path with some benches. But we believe that it is an ideal scenario through which we can teach visitors about wetlands and how to restore and live with wetlands. So with that being said, I'm going to pass the proverbial Zoom mic to Siobhan.
Yes, good evening. I'm Siobhan Towers, the project studio. I'm a landscape architect, actually. I've been involved with Hillstead for over 40 years because we were the ones responsible for the restoration of the sunken garden way back when. This is actually a very exciting opportunity to do the counterpuntal approach to understanding the landscape around Hillstead and the nature of the garden. This was fairly revolutionary, designing with nature. At the time, the first slide that you see up here is what we've been able to reconstruct based on archival photographs of what we believe the original layout of the path was. So you can see there are gaps. We think there were, in fact, mowed lawn paths through some of this, but basically we believe there was a loop, most of which was paved, portions of which may have been just lawn. At the time, this was not as wet as it is now. There were under drains in the field above and possibly through the area that we're now considering. Many of those drains have long since crushed, and we do have a groundwater and wetland soil issue that did not exist at the time. We're trying to amend what was there, recapture the essence of the aesthetic that was sought in this original design, but respecting the wetlands to the degree that we can, while still trying to understand what Theodate was trying to achieve here. I think if we go to the next slide, you can see what we've suggested here is following that alignment, which if I start at the north end to the right and move along the top of the garden space, you can see we've replicated her layout, pushed the walk slightly up against the toe of the slope. Very lightly in there, you can see the approximate wetland line. Much of this is either outside or right on the edge of what was determined to be wetland soils. And then instead of crossing the very wet area down near where there once was a pond at the culvert that runs underneath the entry drive, we've terminated it, created a place where we could have a couple of chairs, some educational signage talking about the wetlands. And then on the other side, coming in from the north entry gate, another walkway that leads up to an existing gap in the wall, and then a grass path that goes on beyond that, which in fact we need for construction access to absolutely minimize how much disturbance we create. The two other existing gateways are very narrow. One of them's only 2 feet wide. So what we've proposed here are 4-foot wide stone dust paths with a 3 to 4 foot wide verge of mowed, I'll say lawn, but freedom lawn, anything that can stand up to the mower. We've suggested a wetland mix of forbs and grasses that will stand up to mowing in those areas that we mow, but will revert to wetland native vegetation in any area that we disturb that isn't being mowed. We've tried to absolutely minimize the amount of grading. Fortunately, since we're following what once was a path, the existing grades do easily accommodate the, thank you, Bruce, a new pathway here, which we would propose just to be stone screenings on top of process, on top of technical fabric to absolutely maximize the amount of groundwater that we can accommodate through underneath the proposed walkway, which would just have a slight pitch, no edging, and then this keep the higher poison ivy, and because of the ticks. So while it's authentically what was there originally, it's really more a maintenance longevity issue for us here. We'd also like to plant between the path and the walls with native vegetation, both, which is that sort of bubbled area that you can see on both sides. The original you can see in the archival photographs was heavily planted. There was a sense of this was an area removed from the rest of the house and grounds. It was understood as a much wilder area. When you can see some of the photographs here, thank you. These are some of the areas where you can see both the stone dust path and in some areas just stepping stones through mowed grass. In the left, you can see through there once was pergola. We're not thinking about restoring that now. This is again the path with more open in the center. Now, obviously, over time, the Hillstead has done a lot of research on all of the plant material that was in this area. As I've said, the nature of this space is quite different now. It is far wetter than it was originally. Fortunately, the whole aesthetic movement of the wild garden that was the inspiration for Theodate was to work with nature, with the plant, with native plant materials, and anything we would plant would of course be native and be a wetland species in areas where we are in wetland soils. So you can see this zigzag through what's really quite flat, and we would be replicating this. The area, if anybody's been there recently, was cleared earlier this spring with your approval. It's been whacked back again. We're working against a lot of invasive materials and ultimately we'll hope to continue to remove the invasives with spot removals. Here you can see the walls looking back at the house. The sheep meadow is over the wall to the right. You can see the summer garden in the midst of the sunken, or the summer house in the middle of the sunken garden over the wall. But this is the area that we're talking about. Heavily vegetated originally, now quite open. except for a more gladed appearance down towards where the culvert is. Unfortunately, a number of those trees are invasives themselves, but this is going to be a very slow process and a phased process. There you can see looking back. So the paths in here would be way to the left on the upper level near the wall and right at the toe of the slope on the right-hand side. So absolutely minimizing any kind of work within the center area.
So that's all the pictures.
I think the pictures are very helpful. Thank you for including them.
Yeah.
Bruce, just in case somebody doesn't know, I just want to confirm that that's the long driveway, above this on the sketch.
Above the sketch is the entry drive.
Yeah.
So when we're looking here, we're actually looking north is more or less up, but the house is to the right.
Right.
There we go. Yes. Oh, thank you. That's terrific.
The right one.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, well, you're not quite
I'm
there.
way off. Sorry about that.
That's the farm road.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, wait a minute.
There we go. So there's the sunken garden. You can see the sheep meadow, the very strong line of the wall in between the sheep meadow and this, exactly this area that we're now looking at here, which then drains underneath the road and down to the left.
Okay. That's what I thought it was. But I just wanted
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I should have set the context.
Okay.
So going back, you look at the. Yeah. So here's the access road. The Zoom is not working on here for some reason, so I apologize. I'll do manually. So here's the entrance road. Mountain Road's down here. We come up from Mountain Road, take this drive, and this goes all the way up to the house over here. So
yes.
Dave, do you want to add anything here?
Not at this time. No, we covered everything.
And that is a sunken garden at the other edge of the.
Yes, that's
right
the sunken
there,
garden. And the access is part of this was the way that Theodate walked from the house to her studio. She'd come down through this sunken garden, through this very narrow, as I say, 2-foot wide gateway, and then walk along the edge of the road and then up the hill to the studio. So it really was an important part of her experience of the landscape.
and this was a studio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they would come through here, cut through the wetlands, and come up here to the studio.
Yeah, which is now a private residence.
Okay. I know I'm pretty. I've been to sunken garden several times. I've been to the property several times. In reference to a sidewalk, I don't know if that's necessary, but you've answered the questions I had, and I know we've kind of gone through this a little bit when we voted on the cleaning of the property and the removal of some of the heavy brush. So I'll ask the commission if they have any other questions, and also if they think a site walk would be necessary. So we'll start with Rich.
I don't have any questions, and I'm kind of ambivalent on the sidewalk.
Okay. Dave Fox.
Had a real lot of trouble trying to figure out which one of these lines is the wetlands line.
Bruce, maybe you can zoom in.
And there seems to be a significant difference between some of the flags that were depicted on the newer version versus the one that was done 20 years ago.
20 years ago, yes. And I left, truthfully, I thought I was getting a CAD version of the 2005 wetland mapping from the landscape architects who worked on it at the time. What they sent me was the wetland demarcation that came with the aerial that was done 20 years ago or something, like more than that. And so there are two different wetland lines, and I should have pointed that out. What you're looking at now, thanks to Bruce, is the more recent soil-based, I believe, demarcation of the wetland area, and it effectively follows the toe of the slope near the roadway. It extends up slightly into this sheep meadow to the right, and then again is more or less the toe of the slope as it wraps around the base. And so the walkway comes in just above where the wetland line is, and that stone wall in the upper right, and more or less follows or where possible stays outside of the wetland line as it comes along paralleling the road. And you can, the wetland line is highlighted there. It's a little hard to read, but essentially the walkway is on or just outside of the wetland line until we get towards the end where I'm able to keep it out because it flattens out there. And it is within the wetland along the sheep meadow side. Again, not so much the drainage as the subsurface water working its way through and down to the drainage area.
In that area in particular, I have no idea where the wetlands line is.
Which area?
It's really hard to see, Commissioner Fox, and this is it down in here.
Correct.
Yeah.
And what I did is, that was one of the comments I had as part of my plan, as part of the agenda review. You'll see I have overlaid it, and there was a little bit of a discrepancy between the line she showed, and that was on that site survey from 2005. So she does have
yeah, I'm sorry. It was I was working off a very small version, and the errors were inadvertent. But Bruce is correct. I was a little off in a couple of places. Although I do think the wetland line on the upper portion of this is fairly accurate.
So as part,
I will be updating the plan. I just haven't had time between getting Bruce's plan and this. So for the record, it will be amended.
Okay. I think it would be very helpful to have like a colored line showing the wetland boundary.
I can do that.
And its relationship to the pathways.
Yeah.
Because I think it was 200 and something feet within the wetlands, according to the application.
Yes, the entire lower portion, I'll say lower, it's actually topographically higher. The portion near the sheep meadow is in almost entirely within the wetlands. The area along the driveway just effectively straddles the line.
And just to be clear for the commission, so they're aware, this is phase one. As you can see, it's hard. No, it's hard to read, but this path comes here. It's going to stop here, and then there'll be the mode paths down in here. There will be a phase two in the future, which will come and somehow extend this and make some kind of a connection, and that's what they're working on. That'll be the future phase. So
that's definitely a future phase, and we've had conversations with Bruce about methodologies for getting across. There are some other drainage issues that need to be resolved, so that's definitely in the future, but it's
I think we lost her.
Shivani.
I can sub in for her. It
Perfect.
is, that is a future phase that is aspirational, depending on what we learn about these wetlands as we work with this space, as well as funding for this project. So we will hope to perhaps pursue it, but we're not sure if we're ever going to be able to.
Okay.
I think that was my major concern. It would be good to have a better depiction for our next meeting. And as far as the sidewalk goes, I'd be very interested in going on a sidewalk there.
Yeah, as you brought up the discrepancy and the difficulty in determining the site, maybe it would be a good idea to do a site walk. And it's always nice to visit the sunken garden.
Okay, that's it for
Okay.
me.
Okay, thank you. Neil Kelsey?
No questions or comments at this time. I do think a site, and if we can have some of these areas staked out with the wetland boundaries out, that would be helpful.
Okay. Andre?
I would agree that I would love to, take a nice walk around the property. I've done it before, but I'm more than happy to do it again and have the flags out so I can kind of see where the delineation lines are because I kind of agree that the map is a little confusing.
Okay. Mark Simpson?
Not really any questions. I'm just curious if this ever gets approved, when would you be doing this work?
I mean, obviously we would try and move as quickly as possible, but we've obviously still have to have meetings with a contractor. Yeah, the fall, early winter, the spring obviously can be a little wetter down
Yes.
there. So, we would be looking for your recommendations too, as well as, that's kind of when we did the original clearing early in the spring, we really tried to get the approval early. I think we were at the February meeting. And we were able to get in there and there was still frost on the ground, but it was still workable. So, minimal damage, minimal, interruption with that. So, yeah, whatever times work.
Yeah, I think, anytime it's wet is going to be a lot more disturbance. So, yeah, picking a time when it's beneficial. Like
Yeah.
if you say early winter and stuff, is probably a very good time to do it.
Yes, I agree.
If a site visit, yeah, I'm good with that. I don't know if we're going to do something sooner or we're going to do something later. Since from what I understand, this is our last meeting for a month.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Yep.
So
Good question.
Yeah, I guess we're also trying to get, a feel for, we were kind of expecting possibly a site visit and, a feeling from you folks, the commission, whether this is a significant impact that might require a public hearing, anything that we can do between this last meeting and the next meeting to kind of prep for that meeting.
That sounds like a good idea. That's all for me.
All right. Alana, you have any questions? And what do you think we should do a site walk?
I don't have any further questions, and I think a site walk would be a good idea.
Okay. All right, so I think we have consensus that a site walk would be helpful here and help us get a feeling of where the wetlands are. Bruce, I mean, I'm not sure how the best way to approach this. Do we want to do it closer to the first September meeting, or do you want to do it now and then if we determine significance, it gives them more time to plan for a public. I tend to think this is not going to be significant, but if we're going to do a site walk, we usually wait until the site walk to do the significance
Well, yeah, you usually do the site walk to help you determine that, but we can't vote at the site walk whether it's significant or not. So it would have to wait for the September 2nd meeting
Okay.
to vote on significance. That would push it to at least 4 weeks. So that would push us out to the October meeting, I think is what I was planning. Because the calendar here. Come on.
The hearing we did, or the vote we took previously on the clearing, that we did not deem significant, correct?
No, we didn't because it was mainly just removal of in invasives is all it was.
Invasives.
So
Okay.
this is more excavation and grading within, as we
Then the
said,
wetland,
potentially portions of the wetland. So
yeah.
and that's kind of where I'm kind of leaning towards with their timeline. If it's something that the commission is leaning towards significance, there is an advantage of doing that now, getting the public hearing scheduled for the and I apologize, it's the third, September 3rd meeting. I had a September 2nd, so September 3rd. That would actually line us up for a public hearing on September 3rd. If not, if you determine during the site walk it's significant, then we'd have to vote at the September 3rd, and then you probably wouldn't be having that public hearing till the first week in October, which would be the 1st, October 1st. So
If I may interject at this point, as I said, we are learning so much about this portion of the property based on the work that we've done in the past 6 months. One of the things that we learned is after you had graciously given us permission to remove the invasives, they grow back like wildfire. And part of our plan for 2025 is to, after that initial, to do 2 separate cuttings to starve the roots, if you will. We just did the second cutting. And so if you are contemplating a site visit, as it sounds like you are, I might encourage, for the happiness of everyone, to do it at a point where the invasives are, how shall we say, short and as small as possible, rather than mucking through. Especially, it will be, I think, clearer us staking off the paths to give you the exact visuals. Just my 2 cents.
Well, I will also weigh in that it's much easier to read the ground plane with the clearing having been fairly recent, and the poison ivy will be up at knee height again if we wait until September. So I would encourage sooner rather than later.
would there be time the commission, some of the commissioners expressed wanting to see some of those wetland flags recreated in the field? Is that feasible, working with a surveyor to get that done?
This was not resurveyed for this project. I mean, it was done in 2002. I've spoken to the surveyors. They could not find it in their archives. So Bruce seems to have the only copy available. We would have to talk to the surveyors and get them to use Bruce's copy to go out and reestablish what they did 20 years ago.
All right. If that's something you can get back to us on to see how long that would take, that way because I think the commission had expressed interest in wanting to see that.
Yeah, I can understand. Truthfully, a lot of it is self-evident when you're out there and you look at the topography, but some of it's not because it's soils, not topography. So the flagging would probably be helpful. And we'll talk to the surveyors tomorrow.
Okay. And then I can get back to the commission with some dates. Again, with daylight savings time, is everybody happy with the weekday?
Yeah, the weekday's been working out fine.
Want me to change the time? Is 5 too early? Because 5, only reason I did 5 was because we had a couple site walks. I could move this out to 6:30 if people want.
6 should be okay. What did we do? Was it, we're 5:30 last time?
Yeah, because we had to get the 2 sidewalks in. I wasn't sure
Yeah,
how
right.
long it was gonna take. So I'll put it down for 6.
6 is good.
Right. And I'll talk with the applicant. We go from there.
Okay. So there's no way to do a vote on significance at the site meeting? I
No,
mean,
no, it's not really a meeting. They're site walks. And they're for limited discussion, just questions and answers, that kind of thing. They're not geared for an actual meeting per se. So,
okay. Okay.
so that's up to, so like I said, that's why I said I'm leaving it up to the applicant at this point. If that's of the essence and they would like to push it, then we can try to determine that tonight. Schedule a public hearing for September 2nd, or wait for the site walk, determine at that point, and then at that point, we'd have to schedule it for the October meeting.
If I could just weigh in on that, this is Neil. I don't know that I could determine significance without a site walk.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, well, I think we could, it's certainly much easier and I'm more comfortable with our interpretation after the site walk. I mean, we have determined, oh, I don't know, maybe I don't want to, I shouldn't say that without knowing for sure, but I think there are times we've determined significance uh without a site walk, but I'm not sure. But it's definitely better to do it to have the site walk and then determine significance. Makes more sense. All right, so why don't you the applicant can talk to their surveyor with your plans and then we'll see if when we can do a site walk.
Terrific. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. We look forward to hosting you.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're coming back.
Well, if we time it correctly, the sunset is quite beautiful from the front porch after we finish. So
All right.
be rewarded for our good hard work.
You have to accept the application, don't we?
Yes.
Ah, yes. Thank you, Dave.
Dave's always the honor.
Yeah. Okay, the chair will entertain.
I'll make the motion.
All right, very good. To accept the application.
I'll
And
second.
second,
I'll
please.
second it.
Okay, motion was made and seconded to accept the application. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? The application is accepted. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to seeing you.
Time and
All right.
attention. Thank you.
Okay, item 4 on the agenda. Evan at 25 Wolf Pit Road for the benches.
He's here.
Hi, I'm Evan Guerrero from Farmington. I'm with Troop 68, and this is my Eagle project that I will be condemning hopefully at the end of the summer. So these farms is where me and my brothers all went to school. So I wanted to help out here with my project. So I'm building new benches for this pond area, as you could see. The pond is right when you pull in, there's a path to the left that takes you there. And the benches that I will be working on are like right in front there. And as you can see in the photo, we have the old benches are in the back, and I'm going to be putting new benches in front of them closer to the path, so that way they're not like embedded in the rough where they are right now. So yeah, these are the photos of the existing benches as shown here, where they're immediately to the left and they're kind of off the trail, as you can see, with like all this stuff in front of it, like leaves and weeds and stuff that I will probably be clearing in order to place the new benches down with. And if you could scroll back up to the dimensions, please. Yeah, so the dimensions of the benches are here, which will allow for me. I'm placing 4 of these benches down in a line, like in front of the old benches, so that way it's easier access and allows for more people to sit and enjoy. These benches are also come with like from Polywood, and they have a 20-year warranty or guarantee on them. And there's on the website it says that they can last the New England weather that we endure here, and they comply with the ADA requirements. So that's the proposed idea. Are there any questions?
All right, so you're gonna leave, these are gonna be placed in front of the existing benches. You're not
Yes.
gonna, because that would be a little more disturbance taking out the existing benches. You're just gonna leave them there?
I have a meeting with the principal later in July to decide what she wants to do with these benches, so it could go either way.
Okay. Um, can you run it by Bruce what you decide to do with the benches? Or what that you and
That was
the principal decide what to do with the benches, and that, you know, if they are gonna be taken out, we want to do it in the least amount of disturbance to the property.
yes. I would plan on letting you guys know what we decide on to doing with these benches that are already there.
Okay. Um. But they're basically gonna be in the vicinity of those existing benches.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
And that like patch of weeds and leaves, I plan to clear that area out and then place the new benches there.
okay. Um, is there any kind of like patio block or anything that is gonna go down on underneath the benches, or is just strictly on the ground?
I plan to put them on the ground and secure them with bench anchors
Okay,
to ensure that they stay put.
okay, that sounds good. Um, okay,
What are the bench anchors, if you don't mind me asking?
Could you repeat that?
What are the bench anchors, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm pretty sure they're like you attach them to the side of the bench and they like they go into the ground and they just like hold the bench in place from moving using the ground.
Okay, so there's no real excavation to put a foundation or something to tie something into.
No, they just
Okay,
go straight into the ground.
understood. Thank you.
okay. Um, I don't think I have any other questions. Let's see. Rich, do you have any questions?
So for as far as ground disturbance goes, you're gonna in this picture you're gonna just clean up the existing vegetation, but that's about the extent of it.
Yes. Yep.
Okay,
Just gonna clear it with principal's approval, which I've obtained.
okay, you're not putting any more stone dust down or taking anything out.
No, nope, none of that. Just clearing it and making space.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, Dave Fox,
No questions.
Neil Kelsey.
No questions, just an opinion. I think aesthetically and probably for safety reasons, it might be better to remove the existing benches than leave them there. They look like they're in pretty bad shape right now. But that's
Mhm.
just a suggestion.
Yeah, I don't want to do I just want to make sure that what the principal wants is what is here. Because an Eagle
Yeah,
project isn't like, it's to support the community and not like
right. Yep,
do what I want.
understood. Thank you.
Okay, Andre Simons. Have any questions? All right,
Andre there? There. Andre, are you there?
Yes, I am. I don't have any questions.
Okay, Mark Simpson,
No questions.
Alana Carveth.
No questions.
Okay. Um, so our next decision is to determine if this work is permitted as a non-regulated use in the wetlands per the section 4.B.2 of the inland regulations. I would think that since he's building the benches and that's not part of the building of the benches did not include any significant excavation or working of the roadway. I would think that this is a permitted use. But I will and correct me, Bruce, a question to you. So if it's a permitted use, then we don't need to accept the application. It's just a permitted use, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. All right. Rich, do you think this is permitted use?
Yeah, I would agree.
Dave Fox,
I would too.
Neil Kelsey,
I agree.
okay. Mark Simpson
I agree.
and Alana.
I agree.
Okay, so
I agree as well.
did I miss you again, Andre? What is this? I apologize, Andre.
It's all good. That'll just, chime in at the end there.
All right. I did that once before. I don't know why. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion that this is that this is work permitted as a non-regulated use in the wetlands and but we will include the stipulations that he has to contact Bruce about what he and the principal decide what to do and that he'll work with Bruce on if they are to be removed, that to be removed in the best way for the wetland. Is that agreeable? Sound like a good motion? All right. So I'll entertain that motion, please.
So move,
So-
Mark.
Second.
Okay. And moved by Mark and second by Andre. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? The motion that this is a permitted work in a non-regulated use of the wetland is approved. So good luck with your project. And
Thank
keep
you.
Bruce updated on what your plan is, please.
Will do.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Bruce, is there a planner's report?
None.
Okay.
Right. I think it was right.
All right. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the July 2nd meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Andre and a second, please. Second, please.
Rich, I'll second it.
Okay. Thank you. Motion been made and second to approve the minutes of July 2nd. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? Motion passes. Are there any other general questions from the commission? Okay, seeing none, we will
Do we have to
end the meeting at,
approve the minutes for the sidewalk?
oh,
I believe so.
Yeah, I
Another
think we
good
should.
catch.
geez. Are you sure you don't want to be chair, Dave?
Well, this is the secretary's job.
Oh, that's true. It is the third job. All right. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the site walk of, what was the site walk date?
Ninth. The ninth, yeah. Yeah, the agenda went
July
out.
9th.
Yeah, the agenda went out before the sidewalk, so that's why they weren't on there.
Okay.
So,
All right. So the chair will entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the July 9th site walk. Dave?
I'm gonna have to abstain, so I don't think I can make. the
Oh,
motion.
that's right. Yeah, you weren't here. Okay. You weren't there.
I guess
Never
I'll make
mind.
the motion.
Okay, motion been made in a second, please.
Second, Mark.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to accept the July 9th sidewalk minutes. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Abstain?
Dave abstains.
Dave
Rich
abstain.
abstains.
Bruce abstains, okay. Motion passes. Now we will call the meeting to close at 8:06 PM. And open up the Conservation Commission meeting at 8:06 PM. I changed my paper. Meeting been called to order. Is there any new business?
None.
All right, planners report for the Farmington June 7th. Update or yeah, the hazardous waste in Simsbury. Bruce,
Yep.
planners report.
Yeah, opening it right up now. So I sent that over to you. I don't know. I'm not sure if you ever got these before, but this was just a little synopsis of the material that went over to the Simsbury because it was in the town of Simsbury. As you know, we do the regionals, so we give you the Farmington reports when we have them in Farmington. So I thought I would include the report for Simsbury, and you'll see in the agenda review here, right here. So it was on 6/7, a total of 666 vehicles were tended and 91 of which were Farmington. So they kind of break through. It's a little tough to read them sometimes because they kind of give the quantities, but they don't break it out per resident. It's all shipped out a little different. So, but this was all the materials that they had collected over time. And we're still getting some striggling in. I just got something for the mattresses the other day. So how much we've collected in the mattresses. So there's quite a bit of stuff and it just keeps coming in. So,
Okay.
all right.
Just as a refresher, what towns are in our group that we open up our hazardous waste collections to other town members?
That was on the other sheet. It's Farmington, Avon, Simsbury. I think Canton is in there too.
I think Burlington.
Burlington, yes, thank you. I think Burlington's in. No, Burlington's not in there.
No, okay.
No, Burlington's in the other region. So I
Okay.
had that on a separate piece. I don't think it's on here, is it? Let me see. No, it's not on the sheet that I had. So
All right. I'm just curious. Are there any questions on the planners report? Okay, thank you, Bruce. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of July 2nd.
So move, Mark.
All right, and
Rich, I'll
second,
second.
please. And Rich seconds. Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? All right, motion passes. Anything else, Bruce?
that's all I had.
Okay. We'll close the Conservation Commission meeting at 8:09 PM.